Hello and welcome to week 3, day 4. Today we're going to be talking about when to play in a minor. So the things I'm going to cover today are the type of scoring, difference between 3 minor versus no trumps. The rest of these will be more about 5 or 6 minor. Slam interest, fitting cards, extreme hand shape, and interference. Alright, so first of all, why does the type of scoring matter? So if we're comparing, say, 5 minor to 3 no trumps, if we are in 5 minor and we make 11 tricks, we'll only score 400 points. Whereas if we are in 3 no trumps and they make 10 tricks, so they make 1 fewer trick, but they're in no trumps, they get 430. And we'll get a terrible score if we're playing match points. So with match point scoring, this is just going to be terrible. Whereas at imp scoring, or what's usually team scoring, you'll get a fine score. There's not a big difference. So the type of scoring really does matter on how much you should choose to be playing in a minor. Whereas at match points, it's really harsh. If you can play in 3 no trumps, you usually just do it. Whereas at team scoring, if you know that the 5 level is going to be safe, then you can bid to 5 minor more often, because you're not just going to get a terrible score every time 3 no trumps makes. So the type of scoring really does matter, and such that at team scoring you should be more willing to try and play, well, more open to be playing in 5 of minor. 3 no trumps, it's still an excellent spot because it's just so much easier to make all the time. Alright. The next thing I was going to talk about is 3 minor versus no trumps. So we've got 3 of a minor versus 1 no trump and 3 of a minor versus 3 no trumps. So first of all, what sort of hands should transfer to a minor that we're going to just... There are other options past 1 no trump. Well, first of all, you definitely want a 6-card minor to do this. But also, you either want like some cards in your minor. Like if you've got a 6-card minor, but outside of your minor you have, say, a queen, and a queen, 1 no trump is probably going to make, because you've got over half the points. And 3 of a minor is going to be pretty terrible. So to transfer to your minor, you want slightly better cards in your minor. So that's how you can choose whether to be in 1 no trump or 3 of a minor. The next thing is, sometimes you've decided you're going to transfer to your minor. So let's say you bid 2 spades, transfer to clubs. You might have a hand like ace queen to 6 clubs or something like that. Or ace queen jack to 6 clubs. You got 7 points. You're not quite sure how good this hand is. And partner might either bid 2 no trumps, which says they don't have a fit, or they might bid 3 clubs that say they do have a fit. Now, if partner has a fit, 3 no trumps is going to be a much better spot, because you're almost certain to be able to get 5, if not 6 club tricks. Whereas if they don't have a fit, 3 of a minor will actually be a better spot. When I said fit, I mean 3 cards or more. You already have a fit. I don't know what I was talking about. But if you know you've got a 9-card fit, then your hand is much stronger. So if the partner accepts the transfer showing that they've got 3-card support, you could gamble on 3 no trumps with a semi-solid suit, or a semi-running suit. So maybe like a 7 count with a really good club suit, because now you know you've got a fair chance that you might be able to take 6 tricks along with the other stuff partner's got. Whereas if partner denies having 3 and only has a doubleton, the chance of your suit running properly is now lower, and it's less good. So I would choose to play in 3 of a minor in this case. So whether or not partner shows a fit or not could encourage you whether you want to actually go to 3 no trumps or play in 3 of a minor. The next times you usually want to choose to play in a minor is when you got slam interest. You want to look for a slam, and it's too hard to check for a slam and still stay in 3 no trumps. So if you've got like a natural slam try and bid like this, you'll very frequently play in a minor partner's got one bid to go tell you to stuff off, and that's 3 no trump. Everything else other than that, you're most likely to play in a minor. You could still choose to play in 6 no trumps, but if you've got a bit of distribution and you're going to slam, it's usually right to play, if you've bid to a tight slam, play in your fit. If you've got an overabundance of points and everyone in the world's going to get to slam, then you can choose to play 6 no trumps anyway. Again, it depends on the type of scoring, which slam you bid. The next thing I was going to discuss is fitting cards. And this is after partner uses some of their gadgets. So after the responder uses some gadgets. And let's say they transfer and bid 3 spades. So here the responder has transferred to clubs and now bid 3 spades, highlighting a singleton or void spade. So they've got 6 or more clubs, singleton or void spade, and a game forcing hand. Now, the opener is now the one in charge at this moment because the responder says, I need more information. So what the opener wants to do is look at their fitting cards. Okay, so do they have any wasted points in spades? So do they have like kings, queens, jacks, that sort of stuff in spades? They're not fitting cards. Now, what they want to do is first check, do they have a stopper in spades? Because if they don't have a stopper in spades, you're going to play in a minor anyway. But if you've got, say, something like ace third spade, this is ideal. Ace is not wasted. You've got fitting cards. All your points are going to be working. Whereas if you've got something like ace queen of spades, that queen is complete garbage and your cards aren't fitting, and you'll probably choose to play in 3 no trumps. Another example is when partner uses some of the responder uses some of their other conventions. So they might stamen, and you might bid 2 spades, and they bid 3 diamonds. Here, the responder is showing that they've got a 4-card major, which is hearts because they haven't shown a fit, and also a 5 or more card minor, usually 6, in diamonds. So natural and game forcing, 4 hearts, 5 or 6 diamonds, game forcing hand. Now again, they want more information, so they've opened it up for the opener to choose, and the opener wants to look at their fitting cards. So now the responder has shown 2 suits. If the opener has any points at all in those 2 suits, they're good. They also want to look at the cards that are outside of the suits, which are the black suits in this case. And what they want in these suits are quick tricks, so aces and kings. Aces are fantastic, kings are okay. They're quick tricks, and they're still going to be useful playing in 5 of a minor. Whereas if you've got slow cards like queens and jacks, they're just garbage and won't be useful points at all. So if you have fitting cards of aces and possibly kings, you want to be more encouraged to be playing in 5 of a minor. So again, any points whatsoever in responders' suits are good. Outside their suits, you want quick tricks. Next, just looking at it, extreme hand shapes. And this is back to the responder. If they've got 10 or 11 cards in 2 suits, these are extreme hand shapes, and you frequently want to consider playing in 5 of in a minor. So 10, 11 cards. 10's like maybe you want to offer to play in it. 11, you want to strongly consider it. So it can still be right to play in 3 no trumps, but it's really tough. These hands are such on the extreme that usually playing in a minor is probably a decent idea. But if your partner still insists on no trumps, then sure. But strongly consider with 10 or 11 cards to go into the minor. And the final one is interference. So if the opponents get in there and bid a suit, so let's say they bid 2 spades. When the opponents interfere, you need a stopper in their suit. So if you do not have a stopper in spades in this instance, then you'll probably choose to play somewhere else, and that could be in a minor. My general philosophy is if the opponents don't bid, don't worry about stoppers in all the suits. It's only when they do bid you need to find out about these stoppers. So here they've mentioned that they've got spades. Check for a spade stopper. If you don't have one, that's when you want to try and play in a minor. Alright, so that's what I was going to cover today. So that was type of scoring, 3 of a minor versus no trumps, slam interest, fitting cards, extreme hand shapes, and interference. So scoring wise, imp scoring you can be more willing to play in 5 of a minor than in 3 no trumps, because you're not going to get a terrible score when both of them make and no trumps gets an overtrick. 3 minor versus no trumps, if you're considering it between 1 no trump and 3 of a minor, you want a reasonable suit. Like, you're obviously a weak hand, but you want more quality to your suit. And also, if you transfer to your minor with a semi-running suit and your partner super accepts showing a fit, sometimes you can consider converting that back to 3 no trump. If you got slam interest, give it a go. Be more willing to try and play in 5 in a minor. Fitting cards. Whenever the responder shows uses one of the conventions that either highlights a shortage or shows 2 suits. If they show 2 suits, you want to think any cards in those suits are good. Outside those suits, quick tricks. Extreme hand shapes, 10, maybe 11 cards, again, consider it. And interference, if you don't have a stopper, that's when you want to try and play in a minor. Anyway, that's it from me today. See you tomorrow.